This is part 2 of your amazing brain. The brain is made up of chains of microscopic wires called neurons. A neuron receives a signal input at one end and shoots it down the wire at speeds of up to 430 kilometers per hour or about 270 miles per hour. Now that's faster than your Ferrari. The signal then gets passed on to other neurons. As mentioned in the last video, a single neuron can make up to 10,000 connections to other neurons. So let's look at a couple of pictures. In the first one, you'll see a blob of light in the center, which is a cell body, or core. The branching on this one is extensive. These branches are like the antenna or satellite dishes that receive signal input. The other end of the neuron can have branching that looks very similar. This next photo is at a higher magnification and you can see greater detail. The third shows two different types of neurons indicated by the different colors. This last one shows several neurons. It is a photo taken with an electron microscope. This means what you see is not visible with the naked eye. Yet, if you try and follow the connections from any one of those cells, it's practically impossible. Just pause the recording and try it. This should give you a sense of how tiny the cells are and how interconnected the brain is. To simplify the picture, let me show you in a drawing the sequence of how neurons talk to each other. One end is like the antenna. It receives a signal, say in the form of light or sound. The wire is called the axon, and it conducts the signal down to the ends even if there are several endpoints. At the end, called the terminals, the signal jumps across to any neurons that are close enough to receive the impulse, which you can think of like a spark. The signal then gets passed on from neuron to neuron in the same way in a web of signals. The significance of this lies in that these networks form the pathways of thinking, feeling, and doing. You learn something and immediately a network is established. The more it is rehearsed, the stronger that network becomes. This is how habits become wired into the brain. For example, when you learn how to write with a pen, play a musical instrument, or drive a car, these things do not become habit until you've done a lot of practice. The second important thing to realize is that more branching forms more networks. This is one of the determining factors in developing greater intelligence, awareness, and consciousness. Because the brain is flexible and adaptable, it develops new pathways all the time. With the knowledge that you can increase the branching and build new network connections, you will have a sense of the possibility that lies within your own brain, that is within your reach. In part 3 of your amazing brain, I'm going to take you through an exercise that you can practice that will help you with just that. And you thought the internet was on the outside.